Yo, good morning, good evening. Okay, so I'm a little bit pumped about today's stream. So I haven't forgotten, we're still working on the blobs, but we're doing a very small detour. I'm just gonna spend today on it. If it doesn't work after today, we're gonna move on. But, so we're working on the blobs, which is transparent objects, and I want to, or they are transparent objects that will have an outline. And it's a little bit of a special case, and we're gonna try and make that work today. And to make it work, we're gonna handle the depth ourselves. So I'm saying, like, this is a bit of a experiment because, or like, we're doing this because we want to achieve some visual stuff we can't achieve with the current solution. But if this also works, if this gives us the same visuals as the previous solution, then we will also have improved the performance, because instead of looking up 2 textures, we're just gonna have to read 1 texture after this. So yeah, a little bit of experimentation today. I'm pumped, I have high hopes, but we will see where it goes. Get inspired by values. What's up? Hope you're having a wonderful Monday so far, and welcome to the stream. PG King. I'm also like simulcasting on Twitch, but I try, like, when someone says something in the chat, I try to read it first and then answer it. PG King 9. I had an exhausting weekend with badminton tournament and very little sleep because of sickness, but I slept wonderfully last night, so much better now. Nice. Did you play in the badminton tournament or just watch it? I'm questioning because of the sickness, you know. My weekend was pretty nice. Nah, it was a nice weekend. Get inspired, good luck with the blob. Hope you do it today. So do I, so do I. Okay, so let's just summarize it real quick. We have... Let's start by showing it. Outlines. Yeah, I want to comment this one out. And did I also change something down here? Okay, let's see what we get from this. Okay, beautiful. Oh, yes. Now I know. So in Outlines render feature as well, we have this one right here. We're gonna comment this one out. PG King I played on Sunday while sick. That was intense. Yeah, I can imagine. You better be careful with, like... I've always heard that it's quite dangerous to exercise while sick. I guess it depends on what kind of sickness. Okay, so in this game, or one of the strongest visuals identities in this game is the outlines. They are mostly good. But to generate these outlines, we do a pre-pass where we store scene normals, scene segments, and scene depth to a texture. And then we read this texture, parse it, and do edge detection on it, and that's how we get our outlines. Alright, straightforward, basic solution, a lot of people do it. The depth texture we use is the one we have, which Unity gives us pretty much, or the one that is available in Unity, okay? I want to skip using that one for the outlines and instead generating some kind of depth texture ourselves. So the idea is, while we generate the normal texture, we also generate the depth texture. But so in our outline data we have 4 data values: RGBA. A is for segments, RGB is for normals. What I want to do first is I want to pack the normal into 2 channels instead of 3. And I want to see if we get some difference from that, because we need 1 extra channel for the depth. So it's not only depth that is going to be worse quality in the new solution as opposed to the old one, it's also normals. So it's very important to me that I will be able to compare these 2 solutions and make them look... I don't want to lose too much visual fidelity because of this, right? So I'm going to introduce a global flag, which we use in the shaders and in the render feature, so I can just toggle which solution we're going to use, and hopefully we will be able to see no difference, but like we will be able to swap between the 2 solutions easily. PG King, I haven't heard that it was a light fever, but that was alright. Okay, nice. Yeah, I don't know. I think I heard something that like it's a little bit of a higher risk for getting some inflammation in your heart or something like that. I have no idea. Let me just ban that dude. And thank you so much for the Prime, PG King. Appreciate it. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully you won't get any ads from now on. But I appreciate it. Okay, so what we're gonna do first, this one I want to fix later on as well. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna introduce the global shader, or the global flag, I mean, and see if I can recall how it's done. So let's just try something. Let's jump to, actually, what kind of materials are we running here? The hair. Okay, we can take the skin probably. Character body 01 material, what is it? Cell shade lit with alpha clip. Cell shade lit with alpha clip, here we go. And I want to introduce some global float here. Let's just refresh my memory. I think it should be enough to just define it like this, but we will see. Outline. Outline, approach, flag maybe. Let's see. Global variable, uniform, good. That's what we need. We don't care about this. This is temporary. This is not something we're gonna have in build. Unity specific. Material set color. Yeah, but we want to set it globally. Okay, so we're gonna call it outline approach. Approach flag. Outline solution flag. Yeah, whatever. And then I want to see if we can set it in outlines render feature. I'm not entirely sure. We can probably add render pass, create. I wonder what happens if we have, let's try and add a serialized field. Private bool, outline solution flag, true. Let's skip this one. And then I wonder if we can just set it shader. Here we go. Shader dot set global. Oh yeah, we don't have bools, but let's do float. Yeah, let's do float, and we want to set this one, and yeah, exactly something like this. Okay, and I want to test and see if this is enough first of all. So if this one is bigger than 0.5, we are gonna return if not really, but almost. Okay, so if this one is bigger than 0.5, then we just return 1. Otherwise, we return the original color, right? And the default value is 1, so we should be seeing a white skin now I was hoping for, but we'll see. Yes, okay, beautiful. And then I wonder, the big question is if I and then we get instant update. Okay, great. So this global flag is now something we can use. So outline solution flag, if it's enabled, we're going to use the old solution. If it's enabled, we're going to use the new solution. If it's disabled, we're going to use the old solution. Let me just comment that real quick. Yeah, let's put it here. Yo, what's up, Coder Cube? Hope you had a wonderful weekend, man. Something like this. Okay, so what I want to do first is we're gonna jump to yeah, we're gonna do it with cell shade lit with alpha clip first. Let's see here. Let's remove this one. So this is what we're gonna do if, let's see here, normal VS, and then we're gonna do if almost. But I want to do like this. Okay. And here we're going to return the new values. And the new values here are going to be both depth and normal, but only in 2 values. So we're gonna ask AI for the solution for that as well. CodeCube, the Japper is back. I appreciate the Japper. I have nothing against the Japper here, so just go ahead. How to pack a 3D normal into 2 values. If I remember, it's called, what is it called? Spherical something something, but we'll see. I should actually have the old answer here. We can check it soon. Okay, let's see. Best option. Okay, yeah, I think it's octahedral encoding. Okay. We're gonna wait with this. I wanna look through it myself. What do we do? Encode, decode. PG King, this is one of these. It's just the default one in VS Code. But let's see here, what do we have? Encode a unit normal to the signed. -1 and 1. And remap for texture storage. Okay, we're gonna do all of this. I just want to do this in util normals. Ah, beautiful. Let's put it somewhere here. Octahedral. Let's take this one. Code normal octahedral. Yeah, we can go with n. So we normalize it first. Yeah. What? Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna assume that this is correct. CodeCube, for some reason I forgot to test my render in VR. And instead of the 230, 240 I got in flat screen with all effects enabled, rendering only 75% of the pixel, it was 24 FPS. God damn, yeah, that's not good. And yeah, waking up at 2:34 AM, yeah, it's not a good sign, man. But okay. And then we have the code normal oct. Let's see what kind of result we get with these. Util normals. Okay, cell shade lit with alpha clip. Let's go and... Don't we have any includes? Yes, but I want to do util normal, wasn't it? Util normals. Okay. So, down here, if this is true, then I want to do float to normal vs or normal octahedral vs is equal to like this, and let's see here, RG, yeah, we're gonna put it in RG. So I want to do return float 4 normal octahedral vs times 0.5 plus 0.5. Then we're gonna do input.color.r, and alpha is just gonna be 1.0f right now, right? Yo, good morning, Harukanen. Good morning. How's the job hunt going? And I hope you had a wonderful weekend, man. CodeCube, like automatic feeders for cats seems like such a great idea. Especially situations like this, right? Okay, something like this. I want to see how this looks, but before we continue, I want to jump to... Not... Yeah, outlines generate blit, and we're gonna do... We are gonna do if... Don't we have this one here? Outline solution flag. Maybe we don't. So let's take this one, jump up a bit. No, we don't. float outline solution flag. Okay, so if this one is bigger than 0.5, we do something. Else, we do something else. What I want to do right now, first of all, is I just want to output the normals and see how they look. And then we're going to test the flag and see if we get a big difference between them, okay? One sec, such as with alpha clip. Okay. So what I want to do here is... outline data center. So if we're using the old solution, what I want to do here is just return float 4 outline data center.rgb 1.0. Something like this. Otherwise, we want to include something here as well. Oops. Okay, isn't that my end? Seems like we have some rebind going on. Okay, let's see. Util normals. I just have to test one thing here. Home end. It should work. Okay. So what I want to do here is float 3 normal vs is equal to decode. Yeah, we have to read it first, so let's do it like this. Decode normal, and we do not really. It's gonna be RG minus 0.5 times 2. Is that actually the best way to, the nicest way to do it? Or can we just do, so it's between 0 and 1. Don't you usually want to go, or I usually go times 2 minus 1, right? I guess it doesn't really matter. 0 and 1, we make it 0 and 2, and then minus 1. And then we decode it. Then we get our normal VS, and what we want to do then is we want to return float 4 normal VS times 0.5 plus 0.5 1.0. That should be it, shouldn't it? So it only works for cell shade lit with alpha clip currently, so that's the body of the character, if I recall correctly. I just want to make sure that it's correctly set up here. So in cell shade lit with alpha clip, when we render the data to the texture, we check if solution flag is bigger than 0.5. If it is, we encode the normal into a float 2 instead of float 3, and then we make it from -1 to 1, we make it 0 to 1, and we put it in RG. If it's the old solution, we just do it the old way. And then in outlines generate blit, so when we take this data and we calculate the outlines, if it's the new solution, we decode it from RG. So the value we get here is between 0 and 1. We make it -1 and 1. Then we make it into float 3. And then we make it 0 to 1 instead of -1, 1. And output it. Yes, that's almost the last thing I want to do. I think we also need to enable this one again. And that should be it, hopefully. And also before today's stream I updated my Unity version, so hopefully for this project, so hopefully we won't have any crashes today, but I guess we will find out. Undeclared identifier, that's not good. Outline solution flag, yeah, let's define it somewhere. Yes, okay, I get it. We need to define it in that pass as well. Of course. I guess we want to define it here. Okay, there we go. And what do we have? This is the new solution. Is this really the new solution? Because if this is the new solution, I'm pretty happy with the result. Yeah, we can actually check it pretty easily. So in the old solution, you will always put 1 in alpha. Input color R. Fucking hell, I think this is it. Do we have any difference whatsoever? I was counting on getting some loss. Yeah, we get some loss here. But one sec. This is also because of... Yeah, we have another segment here. I don't think we get... One sec. CodeQ, by the way, I saved money on it by building it myself. That's pretty damn cool. And what are you working on here showed up a bit late, so yeah, exactly. We're experimenting a little bit with the outline solution. I wanna be able to generate my own depth data instead of relying on the depth texture in Unity. But it's important to me that we don't destroy the visual quality of the outline so far. But let's see here. Why are we actually getting... oh yeah. Sorry. The hair and eyes, we use the old solution. So this one, okay, so it's only the body we can check. The hair and eyes and stuff like that, it doesn't work just yet. But this is pretty damn sick. I was pretty sure we were gonna get... some loss here. CodeQ, because the depth buffer is low precision, question mark. No, we're actually gonna go lower precision than the depth buffer. I want to do it because I want to do some... When we render objects that are transparent and has outlines, I want the outline system to be able to handle that special case. So we're gonna have to... Yeah, we have some special cases there, which means that we need to have a little bit more control over the depth, how and when we write to the depth texture. And by creating our own, we can hopefully solve that. And not only that, instead of reading from 2 textures when we generate the outlines later on, we only need to read from 1 with this new solution. So we should gain both performance and additional functionality. Yeah, we'll see. But okay, so here we actually show the normals. So we calculated the normals in 3D, packed them into a vector 2, and then we unpacked it back up into a vector 3, and we don't see any difference whatsoever. So that's very good. CodeCube, I love your modeling style, by the way. Thank you, appreciate it, appreciate it. Okay, this is great. What I want to do now is... So let's do this. Show normals. Or the, okay, yeah, sure. We're gonna take these and do this. And what I want to do now is up here I want to return. We're actually gonna return. What is it? Scene depth center, I think. Yeah, scene depth center. Okay, so now we return the depth, and we return the depth for both of these, so there's no difference yet, but we're gonna make it. So I just want to check one thing here. Scene depth center, scene depth max, scene depth accumulated, scene depth sample scene depth. Okay, so we're working with a depth value that is 1 close to the screen and 0 far away from the screen. It's non-linear. In our solution, we're going to make it linear. I think we're going to have outlines are going to appear between 0 and X meters from the camera, and then we're going to anti-alias them depending on the distance. Yo, what's up, Star Platinum? Long time no see indeed. I'm doing well, I'm doing well. How about you? And what's new? Unfortunately, very little, I would say. I only stream 2 times a week right now. Hopefully I can make it 3 soon enough. But that's pretty much it. How about you? Anything exciting going on? Yo, what's up, Antonino? Good morning, good morning. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, man. CodeCube, ever since I've been working on my engine, I've found beauty in the normals being displayed, since all I'd seen for the past couple of weeks was the same 6 colors for normals before I added smoothing. Yeah, like, I think I've said it multiple times during my streams, but the color scheme of the tangent normals you usually see in a normal texture, I love it. I think it's beautiful. But okay, so this is the depth we get from Unity. Let's see if we can calculate our own depth. So I want to jump to Cell Shade Lit with Alpha Clip. And right now we only use RG. Let's see here. Let's make it a little bit clearer for future me. So here we're gonna do... Oh, it knew exactly what I wanted to write. So RG. Let's see if it... Yep, beautiful. Yeah, but let's see here. This is going to be an octahedral encoded normal. Segment ID. Yeah, currently it is. We're gonna keep it segment ID in blue. And this one. Used to indicate presence of object. No. We're gonna have depth. Sorry, Platinum, I'm doing well too. Nothing special, still waiting for a new bid. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Fucking hell, man. I have a very hectic life, but I don't want to promise anything. But hopefully you won't have to wait too long. Antonino, all good. Yesterday I created a game where you drive an airplane with your head, with your webcam feed and a Python library. Nice, love it. On Godot. Nice, nice. Was it just for fun, or was it for some jam or some task, or you're just experimenting with like image analysis? CodeCube, I find beauty in so many things in code. I was developing an algorithm to turn models into ray transformation functions, and I displayed the error to the screen and it formed cool hexagons. Dude, like, I love like technical art 100%. Antonino, experimenting for fun. That's beautiful. Like, I've been trying to make a very, very small time slot in my hectic schedule, because I really want to experiment with Godot. So I think I have 1 hour free this week where I finally is going to start experimenting with Godot. And I just have to ask, have you found any good LLMs or AIs to help you in Godot? Because what I've seen so far, there's very just basic stuff. I would like to try, like, not full out vibe coding in Godot, but maybe a little bit more, like agent stuff and things like that. So please let me know if you find a solution for that. But okay, back to this shit. So I'm wondering here if we can take, so this is a pass. This is a outlines data generation pass, and it's just a fragment shader. Because we use the vertex shader from up here. So the vertex shader is the same for all the passes, but what do we get here? Varyings input, we're gonna rename this one as well. But varyings, we have position CS, position world space, position VS. Okay, so we can pretty much use whatever we want here. I think I like the idea of having understandable distances, so I think we're gonna take position VS. So 0 is at the camera, and then Z is how far away from the camera, I think. I think we're gonna take position VS and use the Z, and then we're gonna do a inverse lerp between some value. We'll see. PG King 9, anti-gravity is great for agent coding. It's a fork of VS Code. Yeah, I heard about anti-gravity recently, but I'm afraid you will have to create your scenes yourself. Have you tried anti-gravity with Godot, PG King? Let's see, Antonino, I just use Claude Code with Claude Sonnet 4.5. GDScript is pretty similar to Python, but like, do you have Claude on the side, or do you have it integrated in Godot in some way? CodeCube, also I fixed the error by adding a small epsilon to it because floating points are weird. Yeah, it's shocking how many issues you can solve by adding epsilon when it comes to floating point comparisons and stuff like that. CodeCube, also to everyone trying to learn coding, I really learned a while back by downloading examples and tinkering around here and there. That's one way to do it. like everybody learns differently. It's like one solution doesn't fit everyone. Something I like to do, which is very similar to what you're saying, Codicube, is if you actually look up the like source code of a game you have played or something like that. I know that Team Fortress source code is up there on GitHub these days, and you also have Doom. I think it was it Quake? Antonino, I use VS Code as external editor for Godot, then I use GitHub Copilot. Okay, I get it. Star Planner, Robin, what LLM are you using? What extension is that? This is just the default extension in VS Code these days. I think it's called... what is it called? GitHub Copilot Chat, I think. Should be installed by default in the newest version. And then you can select which LLM you want to use. I think it's... You have to log in with GitHub, I think. Codicube, like fully pre-made RPG games and shooters and stuff, just curiosity. Yeah, that's really good. PG King, so I'm using anti-gravity because I'm a shit coder and it's quite easy, but in Godot itself you don't access AI. You can code in either C# or GDScript, which is indeed very close to Python. Yeah, like... I really want to code in C# in Godot, but I also really want to like use Godot through Steam, and I don't think they have support for C# yet, so I'm probably gonna try GDScript, see how it is. Like my idea, like when I develop this game in Unity and I do it in C#, I'm going very in depth. Like when I experiment in Godot, I want it to be lightweight, you know, so I think I'm going to use GDScript just to make it easy on myself, you know, but we will see. Antonina, I use the same LLM, but I have the Pro plan. Yeah, I don't have the Pro yet. Probably going to need it soon enough. We'll see. Codicube, I like to cry at something that is just a missing semicolon. PG King, wow, I didn't know Godot was on Steam. Yeah, no, it is. I love, like, I use Steam. Of course, I use Steam as my, like, game platform, go-to game platform. But I also like to have my productivity apps through Steam. Blender has been on Steam forever. I like tracking of... I like the tracking of hours and stuff like that, and I actually love how Steam handles versioning. So by default it will always download the latest release, you know, but you can actually, like, just like you can do with any other game, you can select what version you want. Steam is wonderful. I think more people should use it as their, like, productivity app go-to store, you know. Codicube, Unity is not on Steam. Sorry if I said Unity, but Blender and Godot is on Steam. Okay, but let's see here. So we're just gonna output position VS and see how it looks. So let's do something like... Yeah, let's do this one. And let's do... Do we have inverse lerp? I think it's util math. And I want to use inverse lerp min max value. Yeah, and we're gonna do, so here we're gonna do inverse lerp, and I want to start with 0. Actually, do we want to go the other way around? 0, 10. 10, 0. And input. Oh, fuck it. It knows. It knows. I think I want to do it like this. So what I'm getting at here is I want it to be 1 when it's 0 meters from the camera, and I want it to be 0 when it's 10 meters or further away from the camera. And then I want to linearly interpolate between those two. And let's see if we can do... Whoa. Yeah, we need to do outlines generate blit. We need to edit this one as well. We don't want to return scene depth center here. Instead, we want to return outline data center dot a, right? Old solution scene depth center, new solution outline data center A. So this is the new one. This is the old one. Yeah, the hair, don't think about the hair. So the problem is, but maybe this is good. Maybe this is good. Yeah, we don't want to generate outlines based on this, so yeah, maybe this is good. Let's see what happens. I just want to experiment and see cell shade lit without clip. If we go 1 here, is that too small? 0.1. Okay, something is wrong. PG King, although I agree that Steam handles a lot of things right, it's nice to note that Godot download is literally just a zip with an exe inside, and that's Godot itself, no installation required. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see here. Let me just read up on chat. CodeCube, I get Blender from there since Steam scheduled updates are awesome. Indeed they are. Antonino, I have Aseprite. Fuck, I can never pronounce that name. On Steam, I don't use Godot from there because I use multiple versions of Godot, even modified versions like Godot Steam. So I need to change version really often. Yeah, then Steam might not be the best case. CodeCube, I love Steam so much I would literally do anything for how awesome Valve is. Yes, fuck it, Steam and Valve is amazing indeed. And Star Platinum, Robin, you ever thought about making another game or with a different style? Yes, I have. Unfortunately, I don't have that much time, but as I said, I have this idea for a very simple game I'm thinking about. Like when I experiment in Godot, I'm gonna make that game. And in my head, the style for that game is like the opposite of the style in this game. But yeah. CodeCube, did you know Meta tracks your movement and your path through cameras to sell ads to you? I just assumed. And Star Platinum, as for your question, do you have a written plan for this game? I think written plans are extremely important. They don't need to be too detailed, but you should definitely have a written plan. So yes, I do. But okay, so something is wrong here. I'm not getting... I want to see what happens if we do 0.0 here and we do 1 here. Okay, that's better. And if we do 5... Is it really that close? Am I missing something here? Oh, yeah, maybe. How close is this one to the camera? Like, why are we getting 0 here? Input position vs set. Oh, yes. We need to do negative here, don't we? Yeah, I think, yeah, we do. There we go. So you're looking in the negative direction of the camera. But now, so now we have far away, it's 1, close, it's 0. I want to go the other way around. So we want to do 1, 0. Okay, so this is our own depth solution. It's not the best one, but we can definitely do some nice outlines with this. I want to do... and here. So an object that is this far away from the camera won't have any outlines. That might be a little bit too aggressive, I guess. Code Cube, so a hardcore human shooting game where you kill humans as a creature, then leave their bodies out in the open with realistic graphics is your next idea. That's actually not that far from the truth, I would say. Code Cube, I had the inverse depth bug before also. Is this just a thing everyone has? I don't think this is a bug. It's just that, like, I'm extracting a depth value from position in view space, and view space in Unity is defined as like like the direction the camera is watching is on the negative Z axis. I don't know if YouTube has any clip buttons actually. Okay, we're gonna get shit like this. This is definitely gonna look ugly. Ooh, this is gonna look like shit eventually. How do we solve this? Because if we have something like this, we're gonna get some weird outlines here. But why? This doesn't look very linear to me. Let's see. Maybe it is, I don't know. Yeah, something we have to remember as well. We are packing this into 8 bits. 8 bits. Which means that we get shit like this. Which also means that doing it linearly is the wrong solution, 100%. We want to pack the value with so a value close to the camera we want to be very specific, or what is the term I'm looking for? Close to the camera we want to use higher precision, far away we want to use lower precision. I don't really know. Let's see. Inverse. Let's see how to implement inverse non-linear interpolation. CodeCube, if you need realistic graphics, hit me up. I can send you 10 gigabytes of YAP and maybe 10 to 15 megabytes of actual code. Fuck, like, doing something with realistic graphic would be pretty cool, but feels like, yeah, you're gonna have to rely so much on like asset packs and stuff like that, because it takes so long to make like realistic assets, you know. I would probably want to use something like this. Analytical inverse gamma power. Why inv power? This doesn't really matter that much, I reckon. Maybe it does. Or what matters to me is that, let's see here. Okay, we definitely want to do something like this later on. PG King, will you change the visual if, say, the player touches a larva that's toxic or something, for something a bit more trippy? Hell yeah. I've been thinking a lot about like playing around with full screen post-processing effects like that. Like definitely, like my go-to is gonna be like when you pause the game, or like when you're in menus. I imagine that we're gonna lower the play speed or the world speed to like 0.05 or something like that, so everything is gonna go in ultra slow motion. And we're also gonna make everything like black and white, I think. And then when we're underwater, we also want some full screen effect like that. And if you eat something bad or touch something toxic, definitely some trippy shit. I'm thinking like scrolling noise, refraction or something like that. I don't know. We're gonna experiment with it a lot eventually. CodeCube day one, this game comes out, I'm decompiling it and making everything use my voxel system and breaking it all in the process. Enjoy. Okay, so what I'm getting at here with our own depth, I'm a little bit scared about this. Everything going to black, so I think we're gonna do inverse lerp. I'm wondering about doing something like this. Lerp 0.01 or 0.051 and then this value. I'm doing this because fuck, is it actually still black? Let's do 1 here then. Oh, that's true. The background here is maybe it's okay to just do... we're gonna see what happens. Inverse lerp. Let's go 50 here instead. 50 might be a bit too much, I reckon. Ah, 50 is probably what we want to do. I don't know, we will try with this one. Sorry, Zing, what's up, hello sir, you talk like you're rapping. That's like the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me. Appreciate it, appreciate it. CodeCube, I forgot to tell everyone what I'm watching this on. I scraped the internals out of an iPhone and gaslit it into working on my TV. I have no idea what that means. Okay, so it's like your own built Apple TV. That's pretty cool. Shori Singh, what's the context of your game? I have a few videos on my YouTube channel you can check out. But to keep it short, think Tamagotchi, Chow Garden, Viva Pinata. It's like you play as a character that takes care of a plot of land, and depending on how you take care of it, different creatures wants to come and visit and live in your garden. That's pretty much it. Fucking hell, I've been streaming for 1 hour, but I've pretty much made... Okay, we've made decent progress, but not that much. Okay, let's try with this and let's see how the outlines... I think we can finally check how our outlines differ. So if we do... Okay, we're gonna use this one quite a lot now. And Shori, what game engine are you using? This is Unity. Viva Pinata, that game literally taught me shell texturing. Hell yeah, they used it a lot. And I think the grass and the piñatas looked amazing. Okay, now we have the data here. What I'm a little bit worried about is... What I'm worried about is when we calculate the outlines. Here. Start planning. I used to be like you, reading lots of docs, but now I use AI too. But I think they suck if we need to write something specific because they are based off known data. Oh yeah. It depends on like how far off you are, like in unexplored territory. But most of us usually stay within pretty known territory, you know, so it can do a lot of things for us. But okay, let's start outline solution flag. We want to do... Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about these here. So these settings might not work as good when we have our own or our different depth, but we'll see. So the idea is that outline data center, outline data accumulated, scene depth center, threshold depth, sample scene depth. We sample it here and here. Let's see. Here we sample it. Okay, I think we only need to replace these two. So actually, let's do it like this. So if it's bigger than 0.5, instead we use outline data center dot RGBA. Otherwise, come on, sample scene depth. Okay, so now we rely on... Did I fuck up here? Oh, yeah, I did. Thank you, AI. There we go. Okay. And I think we don't want to return this anymore. Oh, yeah. Let's see what we get. CodeCube, I think AI is a valuable tool for research and nothing else. That's why I made a simple Python script in 20 minutes that runs on devices and answers questions for me using open source AI. I think it's a valuable tool for a lot of stuff. But let's see here, what do we have? Unexpected token. How did I... Oh, yeah. Am I... There we go. Yeah, that's rough to say the least. But I know why. So this is the new system, this is the old. Not too far off, honestly. Oh, look at this. I think the new system is better here, isn't it? Hell yeah, what the fuck? Look at this. But then again, the new system sucks. Here, but I'm pretty sure this is because of the normals. Welcome back, Antonino. Yeah, this sucks as well. Is this... we'll see. But I think part of the problem here is that when we are doing the normal outlines, we do outline data. What the fuck is this? Yeah. So when we read, say, outline data center, here, normal VS, we just do outlines data center RGB. So we use the 3-dimensional, but we have packed it into 2-dimensional. So this is another place where we want to do a check. And we're gonna do that check as this one. So if this is true, otherwise this. do I actually solve this with a remap? That's... Why the fuck did I do that? Remap. That's a little bit weird, honestly. Remap from 0, 1 to -1, 1. Yeah. But what we want to do here is unpack... What was it? Decode. So here we want to do decode, normal, octahedral, and we want to do outline data center .rg times 2 minus 1. But then after all of this, we also want to make it -1 and 1, so times let's see here. Oh, 1 sec. No. This one gives us -1 to 1, so this is okay. Okay, but that's not the only place, right? Because here we do... Don't we read it here? Scene depth. Outline data. Outline data accumulated. Yeah, I solved it like this time around. Our segment is in a different channel as well. So the way... Okay, first of all, the normal here, we use this one to calculate a few things. Threshold for depth. But when it comes to the normals, I just did... I'm wondering... Do I want to unpack this shit, or could we just do... Outline data center RGB, we handle them as vectors. Yeah, maybe, just maybe, it's better to do... No, we handle it as data. What do I actually want to do here? I'm wondering if we should just go a little bit crazy. And so originally we do RGB here. Oh, yeah. And with the new solution, we just do RG here. That should be a-okay, I think. But the bad thing is that... One sec. Okay, back, sorry about that. Okay, so we might need to change this one into a float 3, I suppose. Code Cube, I like this particular track, sounds awesome on my speaker system. Was it the previous song? Let's see. Maybe I should have what they are called, actually. Let's see. If it's this one... Let's see if I can post... Where do we have... let me write it. I think it's called Time Lapse by... If it's this one, that is. By Gusetaf. Slow, yeah. Something like this. And Star Platinum, I didn't know Robin puts music in the background now. Yeah, I go back and forth. Sometimes I do with music in the background and sometimes I don't. It's usually after I get like falsely... Someone makes a false copyright claim against my live stream or something like that, which takes it down, even though the claim gets resolved later. It's usually after something like that happens, I stop streaming with music for a while, and then I slowly get back at it, you know. But thanks to chillhop.com for all of this amazing music that is free to use for creators. But okay. So, outline data accumulated. We're gonna change this one to a float 3, which means that it will become a little bit more complicated here, I think. Should still be okay. But unfortunately this means that it's gonna be a little bit... You know what? We're gonna keep it as a float 4, but we... And then we have the segments in Fuck, okay, this sucks because maybe it's better to do... Maybe we should just split it up into 2 different solutions much earlier. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna do this. So let's skip this one. Let's take, where are we using this one? We're using it here. So let's do... like that. and like this. Now we're back at where we were, I think. Okay. So this is experimental. We're not gonna have it like this in build or anything like that, so we're gonna make something like this for now. Outline solution flag. If this one is bigger than 0.5, then we do the new solution, else we do the old one, which is this one. Oh, come on. So this one. And then we put it in, copy it, and paste it like this. Okay. Old solution, new solution. Okay, so in the new solution, let's go through line by line. 1 second, I'm just gonna order coffee. Okay, so UV center we get text chord XY, great. UV delta, kernel elements outline. Outline data center, beautiful. Outline data accumulated. So the new one here, we switch it from a float 4 to a float 3. I should have accepted that, but let's do it manually. Research if using position videos properly works. I don't care about this right now. Normal VS here. So this one we just changed to decode normal outline data center RG types like this. Scene depth center, instead of sample scene depth we do outline data center dot RGBA, right? Scene depth max, scene depth accumulated, threshold. I think this is okay. And then we go here, outline data, sample texture. Yes, outline data accumulated. This one is going to be a float 3. Normal settings is just going to be RG. RG. And this is not going to be A, but instead this is going to be B. That's our segment for this one. We're not going to do sample scene here. Depth, we're going to do outline data dot A. Scene depth accumulated, scene depth center, scene depth. And I think we are done. The only thing I'm afraid of, let's see if it works, but I'm afraid this max here, is this one in util math? Or, yeah. It works with float F2 as well. That's great. Outline data accumulated. Yeah, we need to fix this one. So normal outline here, we just want to do RG. And segment outline here, we want to do B. And fuck it, let's try this. But before we try this, I'm just gonna have to update myself on chat. Yahoo's Upscafer, why are you making games by hand? Genie 3 is out. I still want to, like, I want to feel that I do something right. Jokes aside, I have no idea how good Genie is or what it does. So please, let me know. And Star Platinum, by the way, I gotta go. Hope you all have a good day. You too, man. Thank you for dropping by. Appreciate it. Code Cube, just have to read this one. I think focusing on the positive is good. That's not a direct quote, but like definitely like positive thoughts is very important. 100%. Don't be too, like, negative towards yourself. Or other people. Fuck, negativity sucks, man. Scafer, it's okay on generating clones of existing IPs. Okay, that sounds good. But soon it might not only be clones, right? Okay, let's try this. Let's see what we have. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is the new one. This is the old one. Yeah, we lose some shit here. And I think what we're losing is... I'm pretty sure what we're losing doesn't have anything to do with normals, but rather depth. Oh, yeah, okay. This, like, don't think about the eyes or the hair. We don't do anything with that yet. Okay. We're getting some artifacts here, losing a bit here. Actually, it looks a bit nicer here, I think. But losing this. What the fuck, did we gain this? Okay, we gained this. But we lose this. What is the logic here? We lose this as well. Why do we gain this one? Okay. Yeah, it's not that big of a difference, actually. I think we can work with this. I'm a little bit afraid that most of these differences we see are because of... I'm not afraid, but I think this depth is going to be way harder to solve or get perfect than I initially thought. Or actually, now when we have a good depth, we still don't get this one. But this has to be depth-based, right? Okay, one is a little bit too big too, then. Okay, let's see. Ah, yeah, it's depth. So here... Holy shit. So these outlines are way better. But we're getting this artifact here as well. Okay, this kind of sucks because this means that these settings, yeah, especially the depth-based one, these are highly dependent on the old system. But if we can play around with these, we can hopefully eventually get a system that is pretty good. I just want to try one thing as well. Much no difference. But okay. And this artifact we're seeing here is because of the depth, definitely the depth truncation. Yeah, I think so. Skaver, your character's very hairy now. Yeah, maybe we should just run with this, right? But let's see here. Every video of Genie game where somebody has written a custom prompt for it shows exactly how a game without any art direction looks like. It looks like a dump. Oh yeah, is Genie the new one? I think I saw it, like a lot of people generating quote-unquote games, but all it is basically is you can move around within a video-ish. Yeah, what's up, Samsung Mighty? Looked a bit like a Moomin character with those artifacts. Which one? Let's see here. Code Cube, Genie 3 is just another overhyped AI. It's just an AI that makes an advanced walking simulator that you can only play for a minute. Yeah, that's a little bit of my problem with all of these things. Like, they are extremely cool and powerful, but they are overhyped, man. Yeah, it sucks that RAM prices have increased this much because of it. Skater, yeah, you can move around, that's about it. Yeah, that's... we have a little bit of a way to go still. But okay, so what we're seeing here is artifacts from the truncation of the shadows. So since we are packing shadow values into 8 bits, we can't represent too many different shadow values, right? Or I mean depth values. So I guess this one is 1 depth value, this one is 1, and the threshold between them makes, yeah, this. So if we're gonna rely on this one, we're gonna have to lower this one, I guess, or actually make it bigger. But then if we do that, we're gonna start losing here again. But yeah. And yes. So what I'm trying to figure out now is this something, is this salvageable or not? And actually, yeah, okay, we're gonna lose some depth outlines unless we do something very smart. I think. Yeah, steep angle threshold. No. 5. Really? What? Mm. I might try out 3D Gaussian splatting someday on my Unity project, which is kind of AI but also not. You can make really performant static scenes with it, which would be perfect for any distant backgrounds, for example. 3D Gaussian splatting. I'm gonna write that down, one sec, and look it up after the stream. I have no idea what that is. Sounds pretty cool though. Gaussian splatting is basically like Google's Genie, but trained on your own photography or your own game assets. Ah, I get it. Escape for Gaussian splatting is awesome. It's the AI we need, not the AI we get shoveled down our throats. Hybrid solutions are the answer, yeah? Code::Cube, the AIs are still interesting, but my rendering physics, the procedural textures, worlds, and 20 GB of extra space is only 24 GB, and you can play it forever. Oh yeah. Code::Cube Gaussian splatting is using point clouds and representing color and filling in gaps with Gaussian splats with AI, right? Question mark. Sounds like I'm gonna have to research it after this stream. But okay, let's see if we can... What can we do about this? So, one thing we can definitely do, and which we should, is that we use a lot of values close to the camera for our depth. So maybe, let's see... I'm just spitballing values here now, so these are not the actual values, but let's say that we can represent 100 different depth values in our texture. Or let's say we can represent 255. So I basically want to make it so that between 0 and 2 meters from the camera we use 200 of those values, and between 2 and 5 from the camera we use 40, and between 4 and 10, so you see what I'm getting at. So more values closer to the camera, less values further away. But how do we... Let's see here. So I basically want to do something like this. I might ask... I'm going to question it a little bit more specifically. This has been done so many times before, so it shouldn't have any problems with it. So basically here we want to do... Let's see here. How to... convert a linear value representing distance to camera into a non-linear value where values closer to the camera are represented with more precision. Something like this. Maybe need to refine that prompt eventually, but it can hopefully give us a start. Okay, let's see. Quick summary. To give more precision near the camera, use one of these maps. Cheap, more costly, but better precision. Okay, this one we had previously. Simple, fast, tunable. Use exponent to bias near. Okay. We can start with this one then. That's a simple POV gamma. So, we take this depth, we use the inverse lerp, and then we saturate it. Oh fuck, that's true. Maybe we need to saturate it. And then we do D nonlinear. And I guess it's... yeah, it's this exponent. If we make it smaller, we get higher precision closer to the camera, right? Well, let's see, if your normalized depth was 0... recommended for depth buffering. You know what? I want to do this one later on as well. Good middle tips and trade-offs. Okay, fucking beautiful. Now we're gonna wait with this. I want to try this one first, and then we're gonna jump to this one. Let's see what kind of result we get with this. So let's see here, depth. So something like this. 1 minus d norm to the power of 0.5. CodeQ, by the way, the whole reason I'm building this Pi router thing is so that I can use my 7-year-old PC as a small AI server without having to pay for a separate Wi-Fi plan and using my apartment's Wi-Fi. Yeah, fly high indeed. Okay, let's see what kind of result we get from this. Please let it be a good one. Pretty much no difference. One sec, did I do everything I wanted to do? 50, okay, let's see if we do 10. Okay. That's better. That is better, but still too bad. What if we do... okay, I just want to see here. Ooh. Okay, this is way better. This one, we get this one, but fuck, I hate this one. But okay, that's good. But first of all, let's go 50 here again. If we have 50 here, we don't get any improvement. Oh, we actually get this one for some reason. Oh, whatever. And if we do... So, if we lower this one... use exponent less than 1 to bias near. But I mean, the smaller it is... That actually seems to work pretty well. No artifact. Fucking hell, man. I'm positively surprised by this. I did not think we would get this good of a result this easily. But then, I mean, it's not perfect yet. How small can we go then? 0.01. Okay, that's probably too much. 0.05. Yeah, and here we start getting some ugly depth artifacts, and we still don't fix it. I'm wondering... I'm starting to think... 0.2. I'm starting to think that this... maybe not. I'm wondering if it's purely a... Whoa. How the hell did that happen? 1 second. What the fuck? That's not good. Give me a second. Let's see if I can fix this real quick. That's not good at all. I can probably take a look at that eventually. CodeCube, are floating points being floating points again? Yes, they are. Let's see, Scafer. Yesterday I was making some shaders in Godot. What shader language do you use in Godot, by the way? Is it HLSL? But let's see, I needed to get a depth texture from a second viewport. There's no API to get the depth texture from a viewport, so I made the second viewport render depth as an output so I could use it in my shader. But it turns out that the non-linear depth doesn't fit into RGB8 texture. Like, that sound... It's very adjacent to what we're doing currently here. Spent like 2 hours trying to understand why it looks wrong. In the end, decided to convert it to linear depth inside the viewport shader so it would fit. Maybe I could pack the non-linear depth into the RGB channels, but I'm too dumb for that. It sounds exactly like what we're doing here, pretty much. It's extremely adjacent, at least. But let's see here. I'm a little bit... Like, I'm starting to think, like, these are the old outlines, these are the new ones. We lose this and we lose this. I think it's depth only. Like, I'm starting to think that maybe... Maybe... I want to do... So like when we store this data, maybe we just maybe we want to do some pre-processing before we store it. CodeCube, Godot shaders are more complicated. They actually don't have as much abstraction from raw shader language as Unity does. But like watch... Antonino, in Godot you use GD shaders, should be like GLSL. What the fuck, GD shaders? Do they have... Did they define their own shader language as well? Like, if it's GLSL, that's beautiful. Scaper, I was using post-processing, or I was making a post-processing shader, so I used an add-on for Slang shader language that simplifies Godot's compositor system so that I don't need to write anything manually, and any GLSL at all. Okay, interesting. But for GLSL is where I started writing shaders in, so it would be pretty cool to get back to GLSL. Definitely. But okay. So, you know what? We're gonna do this. We are gonna do outlines, generate, we are gonna do depth outline. So right about right about here, we're gonna return outline. And right about here, we're gonna return outline. Okay, so what we see here is the depth-based outline. This is the new one. This is the old one. So we can see here, we can actually see here that this one is 100% done by depth. And so is this one. We don't get this one. 50, 0, 0.1. I don't think we can do anything here. I want to try this one. Let's test this one. But then we're gonna have to get near said, far said. Ah, they define them here. Okay, I thought they were using the cameras near said. Okay. Let's try this one, see what we get. Escape for materials, you use Godot's GLSL-like shader language. For compositor effects, you use GLSL. I think you can write material shaders using GLSL, but I haven't done that because GLSL sucks. I don't think I remember. I look back at my time with GLSL fondly. Fucking HLSL is way better though, but still don't think it was that bad. But yeah, when I start experimenting with Godot, I don't want to do too many custom shaders, so hopefully I don't have to like get too deep into it. But if I do, I hope I can use GLSL instead of what is it, GD shaders. Antonina, I laugh too much when you complete sentences with da ba da ba da. Yeah. I remember when I started streaming, I always said the phrase, "But here's the thing." I think it was that phrase. Holy shit, it got memed quite a bit. Antonino, I'm trying to stop using Unity completely. I program normally on Potato Computer. Godot helps me to continue. Oh yeah, I get that. Like, I'm too deep into this project to switch engine, I think. But next one, definitely go in Godot. I love open source shit. I want to contribute to it as well, I think, if I get the time. But okay. So, let's try this one and see if we get some better stuff. Depth. Okay. Okay, here we get some artifacts, and we don't even get this here, and we don't get these either. Really? Okay. What if... Let's go with 20 here. Why do we get this much artifacts? Netscape, this is what I made. Thank you. I will copy that link and check it out after the stream. Blue sky. Coda Cube, I love how we talk about using Unity like it's a hardcore drug. In some ways it is. Coda Cube, I'm trying to build something in Unity first to prove it works, then making my own engine because I like to know fees, and if Steam already takes 30%, Unity is not taking more. Like, rocking with your own engine is extremely cool, but it eventually just ends up like you're less making a game and more making an engine, in my experience, unfortunately. But yeah. Okay, so this result is actually... I'm quite perplexed by this one. Oh, log mapping might be better, but like, why are we getting a worse result here? Is it because of this one? Let's do 0.5. Okay. Okay, this is actually not... This is not too bad, actually. Okay, we lose a little bit there, but I'm fine with... Actually, we gain it. We gain this. We gain a little bit more here as well. Okay. Okay, this might actually be... I want to see what happens if we do... Okay, this is beautiful. We start seeing... we start seeing artifacts here, but that's okay. I think we can solve that eventually. Okay, so I think we can solve that by eventually changing... Okay, not here, but if we eventually... These, I think. We can play around with these eventually. Why the hell did I choose to have these as a static const float instead of properties? Okay, we're gonna make them into properties again. so we can experiment more with them. And I think we're also gonna make let's see, where do we have it? Okay, I want to try this one as well. I think we're gonna add an option here to be able to choose which one of these we want to go with, right? So we can easily and quickly swap between them. But before we continue, let's see here. Let me just update myself on the chat real quick and yeah, Unity terrain and doing caves is a little bit, you have to do, yeah, you have to work with holes and stuff like that. But okay, I'm gonna experiment a little bit more here, but before we do, I need to run and grab myself a cup of coffee. So be right back real quick. Okay, back. Sorry about that. Let's hide that one again and let's continue. So this is probably where we are gonna end up. I'm a little bit... You know what? For like depth-based outlines, I'm also thinking, do we really care about depth-based outlines that far from the camera? Like what I'm getting at is... Wait, is this a new one or the old one, by the way? This is the old one. Fucking artifact, but... Yeah, we can probably fix it with the properties eventually, but let's see what kind of result we get with the third option. Log mapping. What do we have here? You want to saturate it as well? Actually, let's saturate it here. So depth max, okay, we do this epsilon again, the same thing we did here, and then we have scale tuned to taste. Okay. And then we do, okay, here we have the max distance then. Yeah, you know what? Hmm. 8-bit storage is exactly what we're playing around with here. Let's try this one, see what we get. Yeah, we're gonna have to change. We're definitely gonna have to change some of the settings here. Is 8 bits actually... Okay, this is pretty good. Because it's the old one. Yeah. Let's try scale then. Okay. Okay, so I think we're gonna go with this one probably, but how do I want to do this? Outlines generate blit. I'm wondering if Yeah, fuck it. Let's reintroduce these as properties, I think. I'm talking about these. I'm still wondering why. Are we using these in any other file is my question. Or why would I make them? Okay, let's make them into properties. So I'm talking about this right here. Actually, we do it here, right? Okay. No, I don't want to have these. I don't know. But we're gonna have outline setting, thickness, depth. Okay, let's take these, put them here. Let's see what we can do. And we do it like oh. Okay, maybe we want to do float equal to, yes, and then we do this, and yeah, we just do it like that. Okay, so let's see. Outline thickness, that's just a float 1. Threshold string, float 0.02, float. This one should be a vector. Same. I think we're gonna have to do, and that's what I want to do. This normal settings, float, yeah, vector, yes. Okay. Okay. Cube, game markets are so random. I'm excited to see if I can build on small community or even two large ones around my games. Yeah, game markets is pretty random. I wish you good luck, man. Please let me know. I think I'm subscribing to your channel, by the way, so I should get notified when the videos start to drop. But yeah, is it just a shared indie dev dream of smiling at the thought of someone considering your game their favorite? Yeah, that would be pretty cool. But just like seeing people enjoying your game. I remember I used to participate in a game jam that was called Scorespace, I think, which has this very neat idea that for X hours game developers develop their games, and then for the next Y hours streamers play those games. So the games that are being developed needs to have some kind of high score system, and then when the streamers play them and they try to get the highest high score. And I remember participating there and seeing people actually playing my game. It was pretty fucking cool. But okay, let's see here. What do we have? Okay, everything seems to be working. I wonder if we want to do... Yeah, we want to do this. And let's see if we get some errors here. We don't. One sec though, or do we? And I'm actually seeing... Yeah, if we have... Where do we have it? Where do we have it? Yeah, so if we go with this one, we actually have pretty much exactly the same depth outlines at this stage. With the only difference that if we move the camera away, we start seeing these artifacts, but we can fix those. So let's take a look at outlines split material. Here we have it, outlines thickness, and so on and so on. Yeah, so my idea was that if we move this one, oops. If we move this one to here where we start seeing artifacts, we should be able to remove these artifacts by doing... I wonder if... I don't think this one has anything to do with it. Nor this one, but... Depth... I think it's depth step. Or I thought. We'll not use this one. This one actually removes everything. 0.2. Okay, I thought I had knew which one would be, but okay, let's double check the code. CodeCube, you actually aren't subscribed to me. I'm gonna fix that after the stream. 1 sec, I'm just gonna double check right now. Yeah, CodaCube, I should be subscribed to your channel. And I don't think it should be hidden. If you check, like if you go back in the history and check, maybe it just shows your latest. CodaCube, a huge inspiration for me has always been Stress Level Zero and Valve, with huge fleshed out souls in their game, not just in NPCs but in the world. Hell yeah, man. Have you checked Valve's new game, Deadlock? It's fucking oozing with soul, man. CodaCube, Robin, just because I like your work doesn't mean you can like mine. But I do. I actually subscribed. Not to be nice, but to follow your shorts. But okay, why are we still seeing these artifacts here is what I'm wondering. Like, the idea is that the further away from the camera we are, the bigger should the depth threshold be. So I want to make this one like 0.04 when we're far away. And I thought that was normal step and segment step. So this is close to the camera and this is far away, or I think that is how I did it, but maybe it isn't. I have no idea. This one doesn't seem... Okay, this one just lowers the alpha pretty much. So does this one. Okay, let's take a look real quick and see if we can find generate blit. I want to see threshold here. Depth setting threshold. We do threshold depth is equal to... Okay, we multiply this one with scene depth center 1 plus threshold depth. And this one is based on steep angle threshold. Fucking hell. CodaCube Boneworks I haven't played, but Portal definitely. What do we do about this depth here is my question. Smooth step, steep angle multiplier 2. What's with this hard-coded 2? Okay, so when we multiply this one, let's do fuck it, let's do this. Depth settings threshold, let's do let's see here. We want it closer to camera, we want it to be bigger. So this one, and further away this one. Okay, let's try this. So what I'm thinking about doing here is depth setting threshold. Oh, we want this one to be, yeah, let's just try. So load. Is equal to, what did we call it, range. Let's see, what do we want to do? Yeah, let's do it like this. Is equal to lerp between between range X, range Y, and almost, instead of this one, I want to use my own depth value here. So that is outline data center dot A. Right. Depth threshold by distance, and then we change this one to this one, and I want to make it bigger the further away we are. Yeah, we need to take this one and define it here as well. And we actually want to do, let's do it like this. Threshold range. Okay, now we should have it. Okay, I thought invalid subscript Y. Yeah. Range should be float 2. Okay, now we're back. So we should be able to do, if this one is bigger, yeah, we start removing it. So if we have 3.5, that's good, but we still want, yeah, maybe we lose a little bit too much actually. Maybe it's okay. We're not gonna have identical, since we're going from like 16-bit depth to 8-bit, so it's not gonna be identical, but I don't want to lose too much. Okay, so now we're back to here. And here it's pretty damn similar except for this one, but I think we can work with this. And then, so with the new one, we have this, and then we start going away, and here we're getting artifacts. Maybe that's okay. Nah, we probably want to avoid artifacts. So, oops. Is that too much? It's okay. Boneworks is VR only, but worth every penny. And maybe if I get a VR at some point, I'm gonna test it. Maybe a 200-page document. I'm gonna check it out after the stream. Bone works. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave the depth solution at this point right here. We have the result is very similar. We lose a little bit when it comes to depth, but it's very similar. Let's see what we can do about the other parts. And like as I said, we're just gonna make it work. I want to try this solution if it works with the transparent objects before we fully commit to it and make it look as beautiful or even better than the old outlines. But let's see here. Outlines, generate blit. I'm looking for... yeah. I want to remove this one. And then I want to remove this one. Because what I want to check now is segment outlines should be exactly this. Oh, look at this. There's literally no difference here. I don't think. That's beautiful. Tiny bit here. Oh shit. Are we back?